The greatest reselling Q&A ever. I've done like 300 of these, so today is jam-packed full of good stuff. I have been doing lots of cool stuff. Les has been doing lots of cool stuff. Maybe we just start with how your week went. I'll go over how my week went, and then we'll have Q&A. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing for the week was I had my first Whatnot stream, and I sold 3 items, and I had absolutely no promo, no followers. I had no followers. And yeah, so that was a really big W, especially because Chris thought that I wasn't even going to sell one item.
I mean, normally you don't sell anything your first time, so I think
Yeah.
I think there were 2 people in there.
It was like people coming in and out. At one point, someone like rated me, so I did have like 11 viewers.
Okay,
at a
she
time.
had 11 viewers at one point, but
Yeah.
when I was in there, I only saw 2 people. So
Yeah.
usually, like, people have these crazy expectations.
Yeah.
So I wanted to set her goal at 1,
Yeah.
and I wanted to think that she was gonna sell none, but she sold 3, which is very impressive.
Yeah, and the items that I sold, it was like when there was only 3 viewers, so you don't need a lot of viewers to sell something.
And all 3 at a profit.
Yeah.
So it was very cool, and the model essentially, we just released a video on how to do Whatnot, but I like the idea of setting up like 100 items. If you have time, preload all of them, go through your set of 100. It's likely somebody might find something they like, and people like to buy from people they like, know, and trust. In the beginning, they don't know you. They might like you. They definitely don't trust you in the very, very beginning. That's why it's nice on Whatnot. You're holding the item. It's not like her first item on Depop or eBay. We still don't have an eBay sale yet. So it takes a while to get some traction. I might actually recommend you buy a couple things on eBay to just get the
Yeah, well,
machine
on my
rolling.
eBay, I do have like 10 reviews, but
Yeah.
it's from stuff that I bought.
Yeah,
So,
they're all buying reviews.
yeah.
So do you have 10 reviews?
Yeah. 10.
Okay, I feel like at 10 reviews, you're already
Yeah.
like in a good place.
5 stars. 5 stars.
So are you gonna be doing 20 listings today? Is that the goal?
Yeah,
Okay.
I took the pictures already of the 20 listings, and what I was doing right now was in my notes app. I was just writing the title,
Yeah.
the headline for it, and I was almost done with it. So
Okay.
yeah, can almost list them.
So here's my goal with that. I'm gonna have her listed on Depop, Poshmark, and eBay. We're gonna drop Mercari. I know Depop and Mercari both have this weird no fees thing where the buyer pays. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of silly because customers are gonna pay less because they know about the fees. So they're not like. I think it's really weird to tax your buyers because they're like more important than the seller. There's so many sellers. We want
Yeah.
more buyers. So I actually wrote that down as one of our topics. So if you guys have any questions, but there's like a huge complaint with all these platforms, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, is that they don't do enough advertising
Yeah.
to bring buyers in. And I feel like why would Depop and Mercari add more fees to the buyer? I feel like they're removing some of the buyers. But so here's our plan. She's going to list 20 on
Yes.
eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I mean, eBay, Poshmark, and Depop.
Yeah.
After she hits 100 items, I'm going to have her just pick one. One platform.
Okay.
I don't think you need to list on all 3. I
Yeah.
want you to see which one you like.
Yeah.
But it's 3 times more work to list on 3
Yeah,
different
it
platforms.
is.
Even with software,
Yeah.
it's still more time.
Yeah.
So, and right now, Les isn't necessarily having, or are you having problems finding items?
No. Not
Yeah.
really. Not really.
So
It's been going pretty good. I can't lie.
she's shopping 100% at the bins. Now,
Yeah.
update. Last Sunday was the Alameda Flea.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No.
Okay, so maybe it's on your list to go
Yeah.
to one. So John, who's one of the coaches in my group,
Right.
he did a booth, vintage
Oh,
booth,
nice.
and he did 4,000.
Wow.
And he said it's worth it for him
Yeah.
to go once a month. And he gets there around, he wakes up at 2:30, he gets there at 3:30, he sets up
wow.
by 4:30. All the resellers go between 4:30 and
Yeah.
7. So he's like, by 7, I already have 90% of my money.
Oh wow.
Because he's a volume guy.
Yeah.
He's okay letting resellers get deals. He wants to move all of his inventory.
okay.
He doesn't want to drive back with stuff.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's different methods. You can also charge a lot because everything at that flea market is
Yeah.
supposed to be 20 years old.
Oh wait, I lied. I have been.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember when I did go, I was like, why is everything like $30+?
Yeah, hella
It was
expensive.
really expensive to me. I
Yes.
was like, this is, and people were buying like crazy. So I mean, they love it. Oh, at the bins actually, I met these girls. They came from LA. They have their own store to sell at the Alameda Flea.
I love it.
Yeah.
So Les has been networking at the bins and meeting people, and it's
Yeah.
interesting to know that there's people traveling to California for the bins,
Yeah.
right? So it's not uncommon. The TikToker that she follows in Millbrae, South San Francisco,
Yeah.
that person's finding heat.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think per item, I've heard the Orange County Goodwill bins is the most rich one.
I would believe that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like all of that clothes, it's probably like banger after banger and
Yeah.
very like good brand too.
Yeah, this is a lot more. In California, just to put it into perspective, California has more people and makes more money
Yeah.
than Australia.
Wow.
It would be the 5th richest country if it was just a country. So
That's crazy.
California hits different. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
I feel like California, Florida, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Oregon, these are like heavy
Yeah.
hitter states.
Yeah.
But one of the topics I want to bring up today is I've been following this guy, I think Kevin Von Trump or something. He has this thing called the Von Trump Report, and it's crazy. He's a farmer, but he has 30,000 subscribers at $600 a month,
Wow.
talking about $600 a year, talking about farming. So he just talks about ag, and it's $18 million a year he gets from the newsletter, and that's like a rounding error in his
Wow.
income. He makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year
Wow.
as a farmer guy.
That's crazy.
And when he was talking about ag swag, clothing for farmers, okay? And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, our first year we did 25 million.
Yeah.
And I was like, clothing for farmers is 25
Wow.
million? We were selling clothing to bougie people here who can't afford the real thing, or teeny boppers or younger people.
Yeah.
And here we have this whole farming community spending bank on clothing.
Yeah. No, I believe that. I mean, you go into like Boot Barn and stuff, all of those jeans are so pricey, and
Yeah.
there's somehow like, well, at least like the ones that I've been to, always a line of people checking out. And it's also because that clothes is really better. Like the quality is just crazy. It's really good, and it lasts a really long time, which it has to because it's like farmers' clothing. Like
Yeah.
it's meant to last.
They buy quality.
Yeah, exactly.
That leads to our next topic. You guys ready? This is like honestly the best Q&A ever. So one thing, right? There's no questions yet, but it's the best Q&A ever. Is there? Okay, we're almost there. So I found out something. This is like this hits hard. It is
Hits different.
Hits different.
It's different.
I heard that if you focus on growth, it leads to bloat. So you get stuff that you don't need. But if you focus on quality, it leads to growth. So at this point, Les is going to become more and more picky because in the beginning you don't really know.
Yeah.
But now you have a really good idea of your buyer.
Yeah,
And
for
I feel like
sure.
that's really going to help you be more picky and focus on quality. And
Yeah.
it really is not hard to find items. So I
Yeah.
feel like you just need to make sure you find the right items and not pick
Yeah,
up the stuff
for
that doesn't
sure.
sell.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, I feel like all the stuff that I picked up, I don't know, I feel like it's really good.
Yeah, I think so
feel
too.
like
It's
good.
really fire. So let's hit these two questions.
Yeah.
All right. Juan is asking, at what point should you start bringing in consistent sales? My goal right now is 5 a week on eBay. Just started this week, and I have 10 listings.
I would say to get 5 listings a day, you should have around at least 100 items in your store. It depends on how good the items are in your store. In the beginning, when I started, I had regular sales after I had 100 items in my store, I had 7 sales a day. And that was because in the very beginning, I had no money, so I wasn't buying stuff that wouldn't sell right away.
Yeah.
So it's important in the beginning. Like, we discovered there's a place that buys cold weather. Actually, not me. Les discovered in a
Yeah,
different part of
me.
California. Different part of California. They buy cold weather stuff. That is a massive game changer because in the beginning, it's going to take Les a long time to build her store up.
Yeah.
She's found another way to make income, which is selling to consignment shops, which I'm jazzed about. And before people start getting mad, I know because people are like licking their chops at home, the whole point of this experiment is to teach Les how to resell, not make an eBay store. The goal is for her to be resourceful
Yeah.
and look at all the different opportunities and pick which one fits her the best.
Yeah.
There's people at home, Depop is better, Poshmark is better, Whatnot's better, local consignment's better, no online is better, local flea market's better, antique fair is better. There's no guarantee it depends on your circumstance.
Yeah.
So this experiment is different than the one that I did where I'm only selling on eBay. Okay.
Another question from AGM West. I was born and raised in SoCal, but living in the Midwest now. Any leads as to where to source bins, etc.?
So you can Google Goodwill bins locations, and it will give
Yeah.
you all the Goodwill bins locations. I've heard that the ones in the Midwest have the most stuff. So
Yeah.
the stuff in Orange County and maybe here has the most expensive stuff, but the stuff in the middle of the country, especially the Midwest, has the much larger bins. There's much more bulk
Yes.
opportunities. You can buy
Yeah.
trucks.
I've seen that.
I've seen a whole a whole trailer of clothing, which is 26 pallets, for only $400. So that is
Oh my
around
gosh.
like $120. Wait.
Well, I mean, just at the bins here,
see.
5 boxes is 200.
Let's see. 400 divided by 26 is $15 a pallet.
Wow.
The lowest I have seen
That's
pallets
crazy.
is 15 a pallet. But again, you got to remember what I said earlier, which is quality
Yeah.
leads to growth. Growth
For sure.
leads to bloat. So don't think about growth, think about quality. And I know it's going to ruffle people's feathers, but I actually think Leslie is qualified to buy pallets because she's not taking it all home.
Yeah.
She already has a good knowledge. Tomorrow, can I share that your boyfriend's going
Oh,
with
yeah.
you? Okay, I already did. Tomorrow, her boyfriend's going with her, and he's like a true beginner, doesn't know that much about clothing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear her experience. Hopefully she does some vlog footage,
Yeah.
and we can see. A
Yes,
true beginner.
Especially like obviously he knows like guy brands, but like
Yep.
women stuff, absolutely no knowledge. So that's gonna be interesting how he like receives that.
I'm super jazzed to see how he handles this.
Yeah.
And
Let's see.
let's see. I'm super excited to see what happens. As far as for me, what's updating, I feel like right now, in retrospect, I would have bought less in Q1 and I would buy more in Q2. Because right now I feel like there's so many desperate companies and there's so many deals and the deals are so cheap that I wish that I had saved. Because right now I want to sell through this before I buy more inventory because there's so many good deals. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making space for Q3. I need to be ordering heavy in the next 2 or 3 months for October through December. So right now I'm making space, organizing things. The only thing that I need to sell that it's not easy to sell is these. I have these ride-on Batmobiles. And I actually have 200 of them. I thought they were going to be small, but they're ginormous.
There's a lot of them.
They're 83 pounds. So if you guys want one, hit me up. $160, local pickup in West Oakland, or maybe delivery in the Bay Area, maybe. So it's $270 to ship it.
Wow.
That's crazy. So obviously that's more than the item. It's
Wow.
they're between $250 and $350 retail. You can't pay $270. In my morning call, I would say the number one thing people were
Yeah.
talking about this morning is making sure the items you buy can be shipped easily.
Yes.
You don't want something too hard to ship.
Yeah.
There's a question also from Tropical Treasures. What are you doing with all the leftover crap left in the pallets?
I just leave it there.
Yes, the best answer
yeah.
ever. She leaves it there.
Sometimes I've been grabbing, for example, last time there's been a lot of like kids clothes and specifically one certain size. So if I notice that things are one certain size, I've been grabbing that and putting it in a separate bag, and I've just been selling it on Marketplace for like $10-15, which it's not a lot for around like 30 to 40 pieces, even like 50 pieces, which I could do more, but I just want to sell it like really fast, and I already bought the boxes, so it's not like I'm losing any money. I mean, those like extra $10-15, it's just like extra money, and I sold like 3 little lots already, so I mean, not bad.
So I have a good idea for this, which is eventually it's not going to be worth Les's time to
Yeah.
sell stuff for $10 or $15.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it is. And I
Yeah.
think it's important to understand how platforms work. She's learned how to rank things on Facebook Marketplace, on
Yeah.
eBay. Wow, that fan's nice. So it's important to learn how all the platforms work.
Yeah.
I don't know why that fan makes that noise on high, but it doesn't on low.
Kathy says, thanks, Chris, for all you sell and whatnot. Only things I make any money on. I don't sell on whatnot. Was never really a seller. Only sold personal items, but have had fun now selling for a hobby. Love the extra cash.
I mean, that stuff that Les sold could have easily been her own stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
right? And then
For
she
sure.
could have talked about it for days because it was hers.
Yeah, I feel like if it was that's what I like about it being from the Benzo, because I feel like if it was my own stuff, I would have been like, selling it for $5.
And that's sort of the reality is when you're
Yeah.
getting started, she's not going to sell for 100 or 50 or
Yeah.
40. She's got no following. And I want
Yeah.
to point out that right now, we haven't talked about her usernames, right? She has 16 followers on Whatnot.
Yeah,
That's pretty good considering it's just one show.
yeah,
That means people liked her and they followed her during the show.
yeah.
And it starts somewhere.
Jackie says, what platform is good for collectibles? I have Barbies that I want to sell. I am on Etsy.
I'd say eBay. eBay, maybe Whatnot, but I don't know about the female collectibles. I've never seen Barbie on Whatnot, so I'd go eBay.
For sure.
Cat Garden says, first of all, big thanks for everything you do. Question, I am very good at finding unique items. I often find that are only one or two are on sale on eBay, but they take a long time to sell, and I need money. What should I do?
Maybe like pawn shop if you need it like ASAP.
This is such a good question because, like, we kind of found a glitch in the matrix with
Yeah.
Les because she can get quick money by just going to a local consignment shop.
Yeah.
And she's posted 4 items and only sold 1, and that's not enough cash flow. We would be out of business
Yeah.
if it was only the online sales. And this is where it's really important. In the very, very beginning, it could take 2 or 3 months to get sales consistently going
Yeah.
because you don't know what to buy. You're still learning. And, like, even if I gave Les a bolo list, like, buy only Patagonia, it's not like she could necessarily find it.
Yeah.
So, if you need cash quickly, I would say clothing generally doesn't sell right away. It takes
Yeah.
some time to find it. But Whatnot is a more fast way to get paid.
Yeah.
But you still have to wait till they get it in 2 days after they get it to get paid. So it's not like super duper fast.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know even if Les has been paid yet for those
I don't know.
3 items.
Yeah. Or the person said they have like rare antique little collectibles. That's why I said pawn shop.
Yeah, maybe a pawn shop, maybe a
Yeah.
garage sale, maybe an estate
Oh,
sale,
yeah.
maybe the flea market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flea market would be good.
Cause for concern says, are there any liquidation companies you would recommend for a UK seller? I find it really hard to source items. I mainly focus on online arbitrage.
Okay, this is such a good question. Okay, so let me give you guys an example. Our safety railings are good, by the way. And also, you can see, I can't even touch it. That's how far behind me it is. For those OSHA nerds out there, this is safe. Okay, so here's the problem with liquidation. Right now, I just received 4 pallets of clothing. That's Janie and Jack. So you guys should know, Janie and Jack is like a fancy kids clothing brand. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, you got Jenny and Jack?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
So Janie and Jack is really, really expensive. Now, let me tell you, it was unmanifested, which is scary because you don't know what it is, right? And looking right now, I can tell that I bought 18,000 units, right? I can tell a lot of it is hair bows, hair ties, headbands. Very difficult to sell for a profit because we're talking $3 a piece, and like this stuff's probably worth 0 on eBay unless you bundle it together and you make a lot that's attractive.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult. The problem with liquidation is somebody else got dresses, jackets, coats, and I got hair bands, right? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
So you got to look at the different price points, what people are charging, how much they're charging for. Liquidation is so hard unless you buy the whole truck. If I would have gotten all of the Janie and Jack, I would have felt a little bit more comfortable, but Janie and Jack is a really good seller for me. It's one of my top brands.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to take a risk on these accessories because I have 3 kids clothing experts who work here. So super jazzed about that. And it's super cute clothing,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to do it.
Super cute.
Starting this week, maybe even tonight, we're going to start selling it, which is like, it just arrived here. I'm expecting to sell all of it within 1 year. That's also new for my business. I'm looking for quality stuff that I can sell all year, and I'm not in a hurry. It's the cheap stuff I want to get rid of immediately. The
Yeah.
good stuff like that Lion D, what is that skirt you have, the black one? The brand?
Oh, Dion Lee.
Oh, Dion Lee.
Dion Lee.
The Dion Lee skirt, I wouldn't be in a rush to sell that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not taking $10 for that.
No.
I'll just wait.
No, yeah.
Or, I mean, you should just wait.
Yeah, 100%.
Yazan says, what are some common $20 profit items?
Jackets, coats,
Yeah.
designer items, on-trend items, jeans, electronics. The main thing to do is to go onto eBay, type in your zip code, and look for shoes in your area, jackets in your area, dresses in your area that are above that $40 range, 40 or 50. And
Yeah.
you found quite a few of those. I hope that.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if the consignment shops took any of the designer pieces that I feel like would have sold for $20.
I didn't take them.
Oh, you didn't take them?
Yeah.
Okay, so she filtered all of that out.
Yeah. Only because they were like, I feel like it was just super like luxury pieces that
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want like $20 on this.
Yeah.
One is asking, is there a healthy ratio of low sale-through rate items versus high? I'm sorry.
High
Is
sell-through
there a
items?
healthy ratio of low sell-through rate items versus high to have source?
Yes.
Source.
Yes, you should have enough fast-selling items to cover what you paid. That way, less is a little less stress because each time she goes to the consignment shop,
Yeah.
those days are like, you said $150?
Yeah.
That is, in my opinion, so much money. $150. She goes twice a week. That's already $300.
Yeah.
She's not spending that much at the thrift, but she could. But she's not like
For sure.
laying out hundreds of dollars and waiting several months to get her money back.
Yeah, and that's why I've really been liking the bins model because with that $150 that I make, I use that to buy the boxes. And then from there, I get like the pieces that I think would sell at consignment, but I keep the really good pieces to post online. So it's like right now I feel like I have a really good, now I feel like I have enough to post online, like a good amount of things. But with the consignment, I'm able to just kind of like build my like online shop a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. That's so difficult to not
Yeah.
to like hustle and drive around in freaking
Yeah.
Bay Area traffic and find parking and pay $15 for parking
Yeah.
and wait in line. It's all work. There's no
Yeah.
like easy way to drive somewhere, lug 6 bags in and have them look at every piece and deny you. One of the
Yes.
stores today denied 98% of the. They only took 2
Oh my
items.
gosh, yeah, I took like yesterday I took three bags and they got like 2 things. I was like, nice. They gave me like $17 I think, but still I was like, okay.
So here's something I found out. For me, the higher end items sell really well on Whatnot. So I would actually be willing to cash out less if she
Yeah.
used the store credit to buy a more premium item. So if she was like, Chris, do you want this North Face jacket or this Diesel jacket or
Yeah.
these Gucci sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
That come with box and tags. Do you want them? I could say yes. She could use her store credit, which is 50% more.
Yeah.
Buy it, come here and cash out for way more money than just the consignment shop. And that helps me and it helps her. And she's learning about new buyers and new people who can buy certain categories. And I feel like that's really helping.
Yeah. Yeah, which I feel like that's a really good idea, especially because at the consignment shops, the deals that they give on like those pieces are crazy. Like it's such good prices.
Yes.
So good.
And those items are the ones that sell slowest because expensive items take a longer time to sell.
Yeah, 100%.
So like, I don't know if you've noticed any items that are still there from last week.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
that's what it is. And the
Yeah.
items down in the sale rack, those might be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Maddie has a question for Les. Are you picking up men's clothing for Whatnot?
I'm not picking certain clothing specifically. I'm just going off of like what I already had on the rack, which when I'm at the bins, I don't really look at men or women's. I'm just looking at whether it's like a quality item. But I will say I have a little bit more women's than men's at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit more women's, but not because I'm specifically picking that. It's just because I'm just looking at whichever products I think would sell well. Yeah.
Donuts R Us is asking, what Reselling Avenue is Les liking the most so far?
I feel like we haven't like it's only been like 3 weeks. So I feel like I can't really speak on that yet. I've been doing consignment just like pretty consistently. But yeah, I mean, that's been like fun. Like you said, like 150, that's not bad. And it's been enough to cover my bin buys. And then I already have like a really good rack full of clothes to sell online. So yeah, I think after today, I'm going to post things online and then we'll see how that goes. So check in maybe like in 2 weeks. and
Did
then
you
we'll
already
see.
take pictures of 20 items?
Yeah, I already took the pictures.
So less like, this is her second day taking pictures, and she took 20 sets of pictures in what I feel like is an hour or 2 hours.
yeah.
Not very long, because we're still pretty early in the day. It's still only 1:30 here.
Yeah.
She's already done with 20 sets of photos. She's already told me about her day last week and yesterday, and she's
Yeah.
already taken stuff over to her little corner, which is really far. So like from her car to her corner is like 500 yards. It's
It
hella
is a
far.
little
It's like
far.
one block.
It is a little far.
So working here is a workout.
Donuts is also asking, does Les find it hard to not shop for herself when sourcing?
Ooh, go ahead.
Yes. I was telling Chris literally yesterday. I went to Buffalo Exchange and I traded in a few items. There was these really cute rag and bone sandals, like new in the box with tags. They were $50. Like retail is $3.50, and my trade-in was $50 or $26 in cash. And I already made, it was my last stop of the day, so my profit was already around like 150, 160. And I was like, okay, do I need this 26 in cash or do I get these sandals? And I got the sandals because I was telling Chris, I was like, sometimes you need to treat yourself a little so then everything is not like too bad. But it is really, really, really hard not to keep the stuff. But I've been doing good.
One thing that I'm a fan of is that she can always resell those sandals later.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so as long as she takes good care of them, she's not losing the whole $50.
Yeah.
For me, I generally resell my whole closet like every 8 months because why not? I'm doing this thing, and then there's like certain pieces that I keep forever.
Yeah.
But like when you're a reseller, you do get to smoke your own supply a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't need to. You can just reinvest all of it
Yeah.
in. And my wife actually thinks that I should just buy full price what I want
Yeah.
and then just keep it forever.
Yeah.
She thinks that's cheaper than buying things you only wear for one season.
Yeah, that's what they talk about, like with Lululemon, for example, when someone says the leggings are really expensive, and then people say, well, you're spending $100 on the leggings, but over time it's saving you money because then you would have to buy like $30 leggings over and over that keep on fading or ripping, and Lulu is really good quality. You can get them fixed, so it's like, yeah, it's like, should I buy this regular price or keep on buying over time more and more?
Agreed.
Cat Gardens has a follow-up question. They sell collectibles, and they're really good at finding unique items. Should they strive for 1,000 cheaper, fast-selling items and keep the 1,000 unique, rare that are slow selling? Like have half and half?
I personally would not. I would just focus on the higher end and be patient to grow a larger store. But it's difficult because Les has this quick cash system,
Yeah.
but maybe you don't. So maybe it's tempting to pick up the cheaper stuff that moves a little bit quicker. Just remember, you only have so much time. So Les's model is essentially going to be 50 to 70 items per week listing. So today she took pictures of 20. It's a good start.
Yeah.
But I'm fully confident she'll be able to list 50 to 70 items from just one day of photos. She'll come on Tuesday and do 50 to 70 sets of photos, which still take a long time.
Yeah.
But that's the whole week online. And the way it's breaking down right now is $400 profit consignment, $1,000 online is the goal. And we'll adjust it as we go. But if you don't have a goal, then we don't know if we're getting closer or not. So we want to make $200 a day profit. Les is in the $40 profit a day range,
Yeah.
which is not enough to live or even eat on the dollar menu. You'd be broke. You gotta
Yeah.
have a job first.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like now that I have a good amount of stuff to list online, now we can really like see how this is gonna go. But yeah, before it's kind of just been I would just be using the same money to buy more clothes. But now it's like, okay, I have that clothes racked up.
Trevor has two questions. How do you do the zip code search? And how do you feel about sourcing items for $6 to $8 and then selling for $18 to $25?
I think it depends on how much time you have. Like there's essentially, I don't think you should sell anything for less than $5 profit. And on a $5 profit item, you should pay 2 or less. So if you're gonna risk very little money to make 5 and you have a lot of time in the beginning, you can go ahead and do that. What's the first part of the question?
How do you do the zip code search?
So how I would do it is, I would type in shoes. Our zip code here is 94210. Not really, but let's type in 90210, right? Beverly Hills, shoes. Then we're going to search from high to low in my area, 90210.
Yeah.
And we're going to look at all the brands, all the categories, all the types, all the sizes, all the condition, and research in reverse and see what's actually in 90210 and use that as a reference point for what I'm looking for in the thrift stores, because you're more likely to find what's in that area regionally. Here, you will find Patagonia 100% of the time. I've never been to the bins before ever and not found Patagonia, at least one.
Yeah.
So like it's just in this region. But we can go here and never find Duluth Trading Company or
I don't know what that is.
Dickies, which is weird because she found Dickies, but like
Really, I would say Dickies is really popular
I
here.
feel like it's hard to find.
Hard to find, maybe,
Yeah.
But people, that's why it's a popular sale, because people really like it.
People really like it and they don't donate it, and for some reason
Yeah, they don't.
it's
donate
hard.
it.
Real.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can find it, but I don't find Dickies that often.
Yeah. But on eBay though, you would go to like the filters, and then because I was just doing this today, it's like filters, and then down like advanced filters, and then on there it has the little search, like the local. You click on it, it's like local items near me. That's how you look for it.
Yep.
Question: do you have a preference between Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop for selling clothes?
What do you think?
For selling, I personally, like way in the past, like my personal closet, I have sold things on Depop. Poshmark as a buyer though, I buy on Poshmark. Mercari, no. eBay though, as a buyer, I also buy. I love buying on eBay, but I've never bought clothes on eBay. Just like purses and stuff and shoes. So.
I think that Poshmark is the easiest to list on.
Yeah.
Depop's actually pretty easy also.
Yeah.
I've only sold one item on Depop. Maybe Depop's my new thing, because
Yeah.
if I can find enough Y2K clothing, which I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
is the hotness
100%.
right now. Y2K is on fire. So
Yes.
like, I think Depop I might actually orient that way. Now, before people get their panties in a bunch, I don't think you should cross list. So like maybe Y2K stuff's better on Depop. I'm not
Yeah.
going to also list it on eBay. eBay, maybe I
Yes.
go 30 and over, older, Eileen Fisher, even some Ann Taylor pieces,
Yeah.
especially ones that are cool graphics. Even a J. Crew graphic print, which is very easy to find.
Yeah.
Maybe eBay, because it's just a little older.
Earlier with some of the girls that work here, we were actually talking. I made a comparison. I feel like Depop is kind of like the Crossroads, which Crossroads is like a consignment store we have here. Very trendy, modern. Depop is like that, and then the flea market is kind of like eBay. I feel
Yes.
like people they want things for like $2. Everything is really cheap. And I don't know why, but on Depop and Poshmark a little too, you're just able to sell things like for way more. I would say the most money probably on Depop, because people are willing to spend. On Poshmark, I know myself as like a buyer, I receive a lot of like low offers that people just send. But I would say the highest like things you could mark up would probably be Depop.
Do you know on Depop if you can spend from your balance, or do you have to withdraw it and then spend money?
Oh, I don't know. I've never tried to do
So
that.
she has a sale on Depop, and I don't know if you can use that money to buy something, but
Oh no, because it directly goes. Well, at least for me, I have PayPal, so it just goes directly into your PayPal.
got it.
Yeah.
So the reason I bring this up is on Poshmark, when people sell their closet, it gets redeemed as credit. So you can withdraw it
Yeah.
as money, but they call it credit because they want you to spend it back on the platform.
Oh,
So I
okay.
feel like people, when they're using credit, they spend a lot more.
Okay.
And they
got
don't
it.
really care, because it's like, I sold 5 of my own items, I'm going to get one other
Yeah.
item. I'm just going to pay full
Yeah.
price. Because you'll see items on Poshmark sell for way more than they're supposed to, in my opinion. It's just people kind of just spending their credit.
Interesting.
Kathy's asking, what is your whatnot name?
Oh, all things less on all platforms, all of them, even TikTok. Yeah,
Even TikTok.
even TikTok.
Santa Claus has a question. Do you think eBay Live will squash Whatnot when they finally put it online fully? I'm surprised how little Whatnot spends on advertising. They could be acquired by eBay at any moment.
Wouldn't that be interesting if, since I'm banned on eBay, if eBay acquired Whatnot, if I would be grandfathered into being banned? I don't know. Or they let me fly because I can't, I'm cool on this platform. I don't know what would happen. I don't think eBay Live can compete with the Whatnot because Whatnot is like a bunch of bros selling collectibles to each other. And the women's category is new. But I don't see it the same as eBay. The market is completely different.
Yeah.
eBay is huge. When they do a live, there's like 28,000 people on the live because they're huge. eBay, millions of people a day go to the website. Whatnot, tens of thousands of people go to the website. It's
Yeah.
like a joke compared to eBay as far as size. So could eBay crush Whatnot? 100%. I mean, Whatnot, like when I asked the eBay CEO, what do you think about Poshmark? He said, I don't think about Poshmark. He said, they do less sales all year than we do in one day. They literally nothing. It's not even, it's so far low down on my list. I only thought about it because you brought it up. Like, it just doesn't matter. We don't care. That's when Poshmark invented offer to liker. They invented that. And then like a month later, eBay came out with offer to watcher.
Oh.
So he was paying attention. So,
That's funny.
but it's just like that's such a useful tool because somebody liked it.
Yeah.
They get an offer. It's pretty likely they'll convert.
Flying Junkies says, hi, Chris and crew. So what's Les's approach to tracking taxes? Curious if she is paying only cash for items or is it charged to a business/personal bank account? I'm looking for a good system myself.
This is so interesting because we haven't set up our bookkeeping system yet. So
Yeah.
that's a good goal to do this week. Maybe that'll be our video. We need to set up her bookkeeping systems, but this is the kind of part that's a little bit freaky.
Yeah.
She could go to the bins and pay in cash
Yeah.
and get cash at the consignment shop, which is so
Which
crazy.
I've been doing that.
She's been doing that, so she doesn't even exist. She's a
Yeah.
ghost, which is
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, and also I feel like when it comes to those things, I don't even to some extent it could kind of be a personal buy. I don't,
Yeah, it could be a personal buy, and
Yeah.
also I was like, one of my favorite memes is this gangster guy in the hood in his car, and he has a stack of money, and he's like, I only have one goal in life to multiply this money, and that guy's not using a bank account, probably not.
Yeah.
He's probably
Oh,
just
no.
he's probably
Yeah.
using his stack of money to go buy something that he can flip for a bigger stack of money. That's what she's doing right now because
Yeah.
there's not it's not electronic like buying it on a credit
Yeah.
card
Mhm.
goes into your bank account. There's no
Yeah.
money.
The only time I'll be on the radar is with the online sales, really.
Yeah.
Even at the flea market.
Yeah, even at the
that's
flea
Not
market.
even. Yeah. I mean.
So the
That's a good
vendor
idea.
that I buy from at the flea market, she drives a Range Rover. I am 100% sure she paid cash. Like it's just like
Yeah.
there's just so much cash at the flea market. She does between 11 and 12,000 a week cash, and her average sale price is $1. She's the $1
hold
lady.
on. That's.
But
really
it's
good.
it's very 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 hard. She rents the
Yeah,
truck,
100%.
brings the whole truck over there. She's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's and I know obviously the 11,000 is not all profit, but I would say it costs, if I were guessing, 5 or 6,000 to operate her business per week.
Wow.
So 11,000 is really good. She's
Yeah.
making bank.
Wow. Yeah.
Pork Rhino's questions is, I resell full-time, but can't seem to get above that hump. It seems like everything I make goes right back into the business, but I need more to sustain my other bills. Any suggestions?
Your margin is too low. So you're essentially not making enough to buy another item and live.
Yeah.
So like that's why I say spend 2 and make a $5 profit.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can buy 2 items, your store grows. So now your income potential grows because you have an extra item in your store and you live on that $1.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And I would say maybe like, because if you're buying, I don't know where you're buying things, but if you're buying things at a regular price thrift store, like not the bins, that very much adds up. Especially here, thrift stores are really expensive. At the bins, it's really cheap. So I would say if you are kind of thrift shopping, maybe like go to like yard sales or buy things in big lots where your profit is just really good.
Donuts R Us says, Chris, what do you think of all these platforms making the buyer pay the fees? Depop recently has 0 fees for sellers now. I think Macari too.
I think for some reason they're trying to get. Okay, I know what it is. This is like super deep. You guys ready? I heard this term called very small business owner. Okay, so there's small business owner. I consider myself a small business owner. According to the IRS, it's like you need 15 employees to be considered a small business.
Oh.
So under 15 business people, they actually consider a micro business. It's not even a small business by the IRS until you have 15 employees or more. You're classified as a micro business. So there's this category of very small business owner. And what was the question? So I can relate it back.
All the platforms that are making
Okay.
the buyer pay fees.
This is the part that's crazy. I think it's the seller that is the buyer. Like the person that is scared of fees and they're like, I don't want to pay fees and I don't understand math. And they go on the platform and sell for 15 and they get 15, right? They don't know that the buyer is paying 18 plus shipping for that $15 item. So like they don't understand that part, but I think that they use that money and they buy back on the platform again. They're actually the buyer. They're sellers in a sense that like they sell a couple things around their house. I actually think they spend more money than they sell. It's not that easy to sell stuff, really easy to buy stuff. So they're on the platform all day learning how to do stuff. Maybe they buy a necklace, sweater, hoodie, but eBay and Amazon are more like commercial. There's bigger sellers on those platforms that are only selling.
Josh is asking, would it be a problem if I drop off my packages at a post office a few towns over from my address on eBay? I want to ship from a storage unit.
It can be. I would actually use the zip code that you ship from as your return address because I don't want them to consider you as drop shipping. If they think that you're shipping from somewhere else, they can flag you and you'll get lower traffic.
Wow. That's crazy.
EJ is asking, my local storage unit charges $700-ish for outside storage. Is that a lot?
It depends on how big it is and is it climate controlled on the inside, how secure is the storage facility. Here where I live, it's kind of dangerous in some places. You guys know my boy Taylor. His storage unit got robbed. They cased him. They watched him walk into his store.
Oh, heck no.
And they clearly saw that he was a seller because they broke in, took the Rolo printer, his laptop, a whole bunch of it's kind of interesting because you could like kind of peep his eBay store and like try to find those items in the warehouse because his item is in a storage unit, right? So they kind of stole some good inventory, laptop, Rolo printer. But my unit down the street where he's at now, he switched after that incident. Is like Fort Knox. Like you're not getting in, and it's like twice as expensive as the insecure one. But I would much rather not get my stuff stolen.
100%.
The lady that works there is like paces in front of her window because I don't know if you guys know, but a storage unit usually one person lives there. So she's like outside looking down all the people all day. So like that is very different than the other one where it's literally outside on the street. You could just pull up, break in, and leave.
Oh, wow.
There's no fence to go in or anything.
Yeah.
So it depends. Outside is either really cheap or really expensive.
Jake says, are you going to use Whatnot's subscription model for buyers? If so, or how are you going to roll it out?
Ooh, what's the subscription? I didn't even.
I'm sorry.
Whatnot subscription?
Are you going to use Whatnot's subscription model for buyers? If so, how are you going to roll it out?
I just got a text about that. I don't know how to use that system, but I like subscription.
Live.
Live
Q&A.
Okay, so this is the thing. So I was thinking about giving away a Cybertruck, right? I was going to park a Cybertruck right here and then just say everything in the warehouse is for sale, let's go, right? But it looks like someone copied me. So they're already going to do that. Whatnot Sports is going to give away a Cybertruck on July 24th. So please use my code at dailyrefinement.com, sign up, and get yourself a Cybertruck on July 24th. Let's go.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, Jake says it's new and it's coming soon. I
It's
guess.
coming soon. I'm excited. Subscription model is cool because that means if you do a good job, your customer can subscribe and they can get the same stuff over and over again.
Hypecentric says, will you ever get into Amazon FBA?
Maybe, but not right now. I want to focus. I have a really good Amazon account, and I'm just going to keep it. I do kind of want to keep it active because I don't want them to forget about me, but I also know that I can't do too many things at once. So I might just leave that account alone. Actually, maybe I'll ask around. I don't know if something happens to it if I don't use it.
No more questions?
That's it.